We've talked a lot about Dabo Swinney this week after his team lost 34-3 against Georgia in the opener. He's heard a lot of criticism, and yesterday he responded.
Y'all gonna write crap, y'all gonna write terrible stuff, and when we do great, y'all gonna write great stuff. You know, that's okay. I don't take it personal. You know, I don't read it or listen to it. It doesn't affect me. I love my job. I love what I do.
They read it. They read it.
That man is upset. He is on fire. He is nervous. He is concerned. I mean, the real conversation about Dabo Swinney is why he wants to do it the hard way, right?
You said to me earlier, if you're the Jets, why would you want to make your job harder? Wouldn't you much rather not play against Trent Williams, Christian McCaffrey, and Brandon Ayuk? Dabo Swinney, who is an outstanding coach, who absolutely transformed Clemson football from what it had been into a perennial championship contender and won multiple titles. That will never be taken away from him. He has willingly chosen not to take advantage of a rule that literally every other school is taking advantage of. It's not a loophole. It's not getting around anything. It is just a rule. And if his team continues to lose, he's going to have to answer the question, why won't you do what everyone else is doing?
I respect anyone who's willing to stand on a principle, but you have to pay for that. And he seems like he's obviously paying for that. What it, to me, reminds me of is every year, every couple years, the NFL alters the rules to some degree. And all the coaches and teams modify. They get different bodies of players who can more effectively play in the system. They run different schemes. They do things differently. The rules have been altered. And he's like, all right, we still gonna play it the old-fashioned way. Let's wing tee him to death. What are we doing?
But
Keep up.
Here's the thing. Adapt or die. That's the sport. That's sports 101. And so if your way is better, great. But if your way is not, then people have a right to criticize you, and you do have to adjust at some point.
Yeah, I think the criticism is what it is. I don't think he has any risk of losing his job in Clemson, and I think in time there will be a shift at Clemson. I think at some point he will struggle, because at some point you realize trying to develop an 18-year-old as opposed to having a 20-year-old who's already played 1,000 snaps of college football, because they're playing 5 and 6 years. That's the other thing that's changed the game, right? You got guys who are playing 25, 26 years old. That's a whole different animal than what used to be 21 versus 18, right? So something is going to give. I do respect his idea of developing and how he's operated his team. At some point, it will change. I do want to say this, though, preface this way. Pump the brakes, bro. They played Georgia, right, who is going to beat a lot of really good teams handily this season. So at some point, we got to also look at the competition of what he faced and why everybody's in an uproar.
That's who he wants to beat, though. That's who he wants. That's who he expects
I get
to
it.
beat.
I understand that, but I'm just saying there's a lot of really good teams that are going to face that same.
There's also a reason that Mike Krzyzewski, Nick Saban, Jay Wright, and many others got out of college coaching because they saw this change coming and they said, this isn't the business that I'm accustomed to. And you either have to adapt to that or you have to figure out something else.